Okay guys, here it is. I knew when I went to Tulsa that I had a nice collection of P.38's coming in, and here they are. I was excited to see these because they are very nice, a nice collection from a really nice collector. And people tell me all the time, it's really hard to find the good stuff anymore. And these are almost all beautiful guns, 98%, 99%, all original, beautiful holsters. So they're not going to last long. I'm going to make them available to our VIPs first and then to the public. And I think they'll all be sold in short order. We have all three variations represented here. I'll show you some Walders, some Mausers, and some Spree Works. Let's take a look at the lot. Okay, so this is the P.38 collection that came in while I was away. These are all beautiful guns. We'll go through them one at a time. There's actually too many of them to make one video. It would be over an hour long. So what I'm going to do, we start here from 1940. You see some beautiful holsters, minty holsters. We start off with 0 Series 1940, 41, then we go to 42, then we've got some 43, 44, and then a bunch of late war 45s and CYQ 45s. So all of these guns, I think we'll break it in half and do the early guns, P.38's Part 1, and do the later guns, P.38 Part 2. Let's get started on Part 1. Okay, here's some of the early guns. We're going to take a closer look. And the first one is going to be the worst one in the whole lot. First of all, you can see, look at these holsters. Compared to this one, this is the worst one, and it is probably the worst gun as well, although it's the only AC-40. Let me back up and just say, I'm gonna have to work on this. This doesn't quite fit, and I'm not sure why. So I'm gonna mess with that. Before we sell it, we'll get that resolved, or we'll price it accordingly. This is dated 1940, so that's rare. It's a 1940 holster. Usually early guns, you'll see them in 1941 holsters. So the holster in and of itself, I think a 40 dated holster goes for $800 to $1,200 just for the holster. Now, it is, as I mentioned, it's the only AC-40. AC-40 is right here. I think it was in the Tulsa Gun Show video that I had a no date, and then I had a 40 added. This is an AC-40. It'll have the AC on the trigger guard, and it shows wear here. It's a high polish finish. This, you can see how nice the polish is here because it's protected from the holster wear down here. Up here it gets holster wear, down here it doesn't. So you can see on the barrel that it's very nice, just wear on the sides. Now, and in AC-40, these grips would be numbered and waffen-proofed. They're numbered to the gun and waffen-proofed. And there is the inspection stamps. Now, also with these, they would have come with 2 matching magazines. In this case, it does come with a correct magazine that is numbered, but it's not matching to the gun. The style is, this is numbered on the toe. I call it the toe, and we'll see in 41, it's numbered on the toe. 42, it'll be numbered along the side, but you'll see all that when we get to it. So the AC-40, worst one in the group. I neglected to mention that it does come with a spare magazine. It is P.38 marked, but not numbered at all. So it is just a replacement magazine. Now let's go on to the next one. This one you can, actually I don't know what's in here, but it's a beautiful holster, beautiful condition. Dare I say a mint condition holster. As I mentioned, 1941 is a lot more common, P.38. Waffen stamp, so it went to the military. Which gun is it? Oh, this is the 0 Series. So actually, this holster should be 1940 as well. It's hard to find a 40 holster, but a 0 Series was made in 1940. This 0 Series was made in 1940. You can see the condition inside. It's almost unissued condition. Here's the gun. The reason they call it the 0 Series is because the serial number begins with a 0. This is 08. And again, this is before the AC-40, before the no date, before the 480 code, 0 Series. They actually started this as a prototype, and then this was the first military contract. Again, the grips will be numbered to the gun. They will be waffen stamped, and you can see it has high polish finish. It's more than half of them will have painted sights, and then maybe less than half will not have painted sights. Not sure why, but some people, that was done in the factory because the paint is exactly the same on the ones that I've seen. Here you see the inspection stamps, all original finish. You see the front strap is beautiful. I would rate this gun maybe 96, 97%, all matching, except the magazine is a 0 series magazine, and it's 08, but it is 08667, and this is 08943. Now, I mentioned the spare magazine is a little bit rougher than the gun, but it also is a 0 prefix, and it is 047. So you can see this is a 0 series mag, 0 series mag with a 0 series gun. Just get pricing ideas. A 0 series magazine, we sell them $400, $450 range. A mint holster like this, 1941, this could easily be $700, $800 holster for one that nice. The proof marks on the back of this, by the way, will be a double proof at the bottom, and that is fairly unique to the 0 series. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. Another beautiful holster, minty condition, also 1941, also Waffen stamped. Open it up, also very clean inside, also has a nice spare magazine. Take a look at the gun, see what variety it is. Okay, now we're up to 41. AC 41, you see 2922 in the J block, so that's later, really near the end of 41. By this time, they're no longer numbering the grips, but they will be Waffen stamped. So no number, Waffen stamp. This gun is about 98%, hardly any wear at all. Like I said, it's really hard to find guns this nice. This is the inspection proofs. All of these will have minty barrels. There's a little bit of wear here. This is usually dull. The finish was dull because of sun glare when you're aiming. They didn't want it to be too shiny, so they made that a dull top plate. There's a little bit of a plum hue to the frame. Now, let's see if it has a matching magazine. Remember we said 2922 and a J. And here we have 2922J. Wonderful. Now, let's look at the spare magazine. And it is in the J block, but it is 8010. So one matching mag, one non-matching mag, but they're both in the J block. Okay, surprise, surprise. Here's another minty holster. This guy likes guns and holsters equally, and so do I. Let's get rid of that. Some people put that in there to keep it from getting flattened down. I don't, but it's fine. It keeps the belt loop fresh and from cracking. This also looks like a 1941, so it's a pretty common year. Made a lot of holsters. 1941, Waffen proof, P.38 marked. Now we'll open it up. Look how nice and clean. All of these, look at that. It's just beautiful. Usually you'll see magic marker, people's names in there, a lot of dirt. Nothing like that here. Take a look at what variation. Okay, this is an AC 41 again. This is an earlier one, AC 41 in the A block, and also the AC here, which later they didn't do. So this is a early variation, 3-digit, 492A, 492A, and the barrel matches. Now this may or may not have numbered grips, because in the A block they started eliminating the numbering. It's intermittent. Some are numbered, some are not numbered. Maybe we should check it out and find out, but it definitely would be Waffen stamped. And I took the time to look, and lo and behold, in the A block, this one is numbered. And again, first variation they would be, and you can see it is well, you probably can't even see it, but there's a Waffen stamp up here, and then the grip is numbered to the gun. And same here. Again, you may not be able to see it because it's barely visible, but you'll take my word for it. Beautiful high polish finish, I already mentioned that. And this has some wear here. You can almost see the finger stripes here from where they grasped it. Now, matching magazine? Actually, no. It does not have a matching magazine. This is a later mag in the G block, so we'd want one in the A block. And it was 492. Grips are matching. This magazine is not matching, and the spare is not numbered at all. Okay, this is the next one. A beautiful holster, except here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 cuts. Not sure if that was accidental scrapes or done on purpose, but he does have some marks there. That is a little bit of a distraction. So I would not call this a minty or excellent holster, but it's a very good holster. It's hard to notice, but this actually is a 43. I'm not sure what gun it is, so let's check it out. It's nice and clean inside here. Does not have a spare magazine. That's an easy fix if you want an extra magazine. This is AC41 1350E. So it's between the early, really high polish ones and the later ones that weren't. This is pretty much a high polish finish. In fact, again, this is a gorgeous gun. Look at the beautiful finish on this gun. Look at the front strap, absolutely beautiful. And then the right side, you can see the inspection proofs. Top, this is like 98, 99%. And let's take out, we already said that it doesn't have a spare mag, but it does have a matching mag, 1350E. So this gorgeous gun with a matching mag and a very nice holster, albeit 1943. It's a beautiful gun and holster, no spare magazine. Okay, this next one comes with an unusual shoulder strap, so that goes over your shoulder. I'd love to see some markings on here, but I don't. It's in mint condition, and it does look like German style from World War II. A lot of these, however, would be marked, and this one is not. I don't even see a marking on the buckle, but let's take a look at the gun. It does have a spare magazine. This is a 1942, so we've moved up to AC is the code for Walther. So far every gun has been Walther factory. It's a 42. Serial number is 3995B. And by this time the grips are definitely not numbered, but they probably are Waffen stamped, and they should be. Check that out. And remember I mentioned AC41, they're numbered on the toe. You remember the 0 series was numbered on the side of the magazine. 1942, they turned it horizontally. Guess it depends on which way you turn it. It's vertical this way, horizontal. Anyway, it's numbered along the base here, and this is a matching magazine. So a nice 42 with a matching magazine and a very nice shoulder holster. Let's keep moving. Okay, here's the next one. Again, a beautiful holster, excellent condition. This seems to work well. And this is another 43 dated holster, 43 dated holster, and Waffen stamped. We open it up, and it's nice and clean inside in terms of it's a little bit darker brown, but there's no writing or scratches, initials, things like that. There is no spare magazine on this one. And remember, this is 43, and the gun, in fact, is AC43. So Walther, made in 1943 in the F block. It has grips that are a little more red than what we've been looking at. The ones we've been looking at are more of a, I don't know, it's a maroon, deep red, not quite black. But now we can see it's a brighter red, and that's what happened over time. The grips changed in color. This gun does not have a high polish finish, but more of a dull finish, and it covers most of the surface of the pistol. So this is probably about 95, 96%. Beautiful gun, 3 stamps here. A great example of an AC43. With a beautiful holster. Got a couple more to go. Okay, you guys are going to start yawning because we're looking at one more beautiful P.38 holster. This one is dated 42, Waffen stamped. We open it up and you can see again how nice and clean that is. Now this is cut here, so that was the lift strap. Some people found they got in the way and just cut them off. This person, because this is not worn, I don't think it wore off. It definitely was just cut off, and that was probably because whoever had this holster would find that the pull-up strap, like this, it gets in the way. When you go to put the gun in there, sometimes it gets caught in this pull-up strap, and so some people just cut it off. I actually don't use the pull-up strap because whenever I take the gun out, I don't go like this, I go like this. It's a lot simpler. So thus, the reason to cut the pull-up strap. So we mentioned this is a 42. Let's see what this is. This is a 43. Again, a beautiful gun, probably 98%, no wear here. Front strap is beautiful. Inspection proofs, all matching, reddish grip, as it should be. Again, an AC43, which is what we just looked at. magazine would not be numbered by 43. In fact, remember I showed you a 42 that had a matching mag. They stopped numbering them after the C block. They didn't number the magazines after that at all. So after early 42 and from then on, all the magazines would just be P.38 and then waffen proofed on the back. You can see a waffen proof here and reddish grip. So this is just a nice example of a P.38 in beautiful condition with a beautiful 42 holster. Now, the last one has capture papers. Now, even though I said the last one, remember, this is about half of them. Now we've got all the later guns to do. And this is a later gun. This is a CYQ, so that's spree work. CYQ is the factory code for spree work. The finish on these is, they're duller, rougher finish. It's not as clean, not as polished as the Walther-made guns. A lot of people feel like these are lesser quality. I don't think that's true. Certainly the finish is lesser quality, but the shooting of the gun is not lesser quality. They come with grips that were made by spree work. The way you can tell if it's made for spree work or Walther or Mauser is you count the broken lines. So these are the broken lines. How many broken lines are there? So here we have, this might be a little clearer. There's a broken line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spree work have 5 broken lines. So these are reddish grips with 5 broken lines. So they are spree work. You can see the condition. This is dull, but I think they left the factory dull. They did a very thin layer of finish on these guns. Again, they were rushing them through. Those are the proof marks. Of course, the magazine would not be numbered, but usually a spree work magazine is going to be Eagle 88 at the bottom. Again, you probably can't see that, but Eagle 88 at the bottom. Let's go back to the broken lines, because if I take, this is the Walther, this was the AC42. Walther, how many broken lines on a Walther grip? And also Mauser, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Isn't that neat? Hopefully you learned something. 6 broken lines are Walther and Mauser. 5 broken lines are specifically made for spree work. Now this kind of is a ho-hum gun just because it's not incredibly beautiful, but one of the reasons I wanted to show it to you is it comes with capture document. You can see here December of 45. Most of the capture papers, I've already mentioned this in previous videos. I see them, it's well after the war was over. People were standing around looking for souvenirs to take home. They had a lot of free time, and they were also bartering, buying, trading, playing cards to get bringbacks to take home to family members, girlfriends, etc. So this is a capture paper signed by his commander, regimental commander, David something. There's the serial number of the gun. 3740G. Right here we can see 3740G. So adding the capture paper adds 15 to 20% to the value because people just like the fact that you can look up the person who actually brought this home from the war. Oh, and by the way, this gun is probably from about 1943. So we started in 1940, we went halfway through the war into 1943. Now we're going to take a look at part 2, where I'm going to show you all guns from late in the war, 44 and especially 45.